Yes, I am, Miss Sabor. Can you hear me loud and clear? Thank you so much for that amazing introduction. It's so good to be here, especially after we had that week off last week for the Super Bowl. So, if you're on Facebook Live, this is our Superwoman Sunday Success Call series that we do every single Sunday. And for this month, we're going over different ways. Well, the topic is creation. So what I'm going to do right now is going through how you can create your emergency fund. Okay, so I know we always hear about this emergency fund and the importance of having an emergency fund, and sometimes we're like, want, 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 right? Like the Charlie Brown cartoon, right? How the adults used to sound for Charlie Brown and his friends. So, but we really do need to have an emergency fund. So if you think about it, Super Women on the Line, the emergency fund is just like an insurance policy. You know, it's like one day we know that we may need our insurance one day, but hopefully we won't need it anytime soon, right? You get car insurance, you get health insurance, you get homeowners insurance, all of that stuff. You know that you need to have it, but you don't necessarily want to cash it in right now, but in the future you may need it. So our emergency fund is the same exact thing. So you know that you need to have one. So before I get into telling you guys how to establish your emergency fund, I just want to say why you really need to have one. So I was going through a couple of articles, and I saw that one out of every three people in America would be unable to pay their rent or their mortgage for 1 month if they lost their job. And this was just a study that was done. It also was a study that interviewed homeless shelters, individuals in homeless shelters all over the country, right? And a lot of them are or were one paycheck away of being homeless because a lot of people live from paycheck to paycheck, right? So, and I don't want you guys to think that, or Super Women on the Line and anybody that's on the Facebook Live as well, I don't want anyone to think that it's only low income individuals or anything like that, because even more affluent people, the poll also found that households with an annual income of over $100,000, they were in the same situation where they would not be able to pay their rent or their mortgage if they lost their job, if they didn't have their income coming in just for 1 month, or they would be able to pay it just for a month and then that would be it. 61% of these people said that they would not be able to pay it longer than 5 months. Okay, so this is a huge issue that we have here in America, because a lot of us, we're like money in, money out, money in, money out. And we're so accustomed to spending all of the money that we have. And the reality is that you really need to establish an emergency fund on Super Women on the Line. And it's just in case, your car may die. Maybe you need to get a new car, or maybe you need to get something repaired on your car. Maybe you suddenly lose your job, or you have any type of unexpected expenses. One of my mentors always says that your stress level is a direct reflection of your emergency fund, right? Which means that if you have an emergency fund, then you aren't stressed out about anything. But if you don't have your emergency fund and you hit a pothole, especially here in Chicago, right? You hit a pothole and now you're worried about, like, oh, did I break this? Now I need a new tire. The tire blew out. How am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix that? But if you have some money put aside, then it's just a minor inconvenience, because now maybe you're late to where you're going because you had to stop and get it fixed, or you had to take an Uber to get it fixed while you put your car in the shop. So we want to just make sure that we have an emergency fund for any of these situations that may occur. So I want to go through 5 ways that you can build up your emergency fund without really feeling deprived. Okay, so number 1, the first thing that you can do, especially if you are a W-2 employee, is that you can change the withholding that is coming out of your your paycheck. And I'm actually going to have a webinar about this tomorrow evening. I'll post it, so you guys be sure to look out for that. And if you don't see it, just feel free to shoot me an inbox and I can let you know when it is. But if you are used to getting a tax refund every single year, then that means that you are effectively paying too much in taxes. And so what you want to do is we can adjust your withholding so you don't pay so much, because we don't really want to give the government all of our money rent-free, right? So, I'm sorry, rent-free, interest-free. Interest-free. So we can do that. Number two, make sure that you guys save any unexpected money that you may run into. So sometimes you may get, like I got a check recently from the gas company. I don't even know why I got it. I don't know if it was an overpayment or what, but I gladly cashed it, okay? So anything like that, any birthday money that you get, or Christmas money, or sometimes you may get any gift cards or anything that you may get, make sure that you save that money. So even if you get a gift card, let's say you get a Starbucks gift card and you would go to Starbucks anyway, spend the gift card, but then save the money. Put the actual money up, and that way you're still spending the money, but you're putting it towards your actual savings for your emergency fund that can really help you in the future. So we always want to be thinking about different ways that we can save. So that's number two. Just anytime you get any unexpected money, make sure that you put that up and save it for your emergency fund. A lot of times when we get unexpected money, we just spend it because we're so excited that we got it. But you don't want to do that. You want to put it in your emergency fund, especially when you're trying to build it up. Also, what we need to be going for with this emergency fund is like 6 months of our expenses, 6 months of our expenses. And that's like a really good emergency fund for us to have just in case. Okay, number three, you know how we get, you may get like some reward points or anything like that on your credit card, similar to mileage points. So the key to this one is that you don't want to waste that money, because it's really free money from the credit card company, right? But what you have to do is make sure that if you swipe your credit card, so let's say your credit card may say, for every $2 that you spend on a specific type of purchase or a specific store, we'll give you $1, right? So you want to spend that money if it's something that you need, right? If it's something that you would spend your money on anyway, don't just spend cash for it and let it go to waste. Put it on your credit card so they'll give you that extra dollar for every $2. But then the key is just making sure that you pay it off. So what you want to do is I would swipe my card, and then that same exact day or the very next day, I'll go in and pay it off. That way you're getting that free money from the credit card company, and then you can put that into your savings as well. Like, I'm a part of a program that offers WOW points for every dollar that I spend. So you can use those WOW points for extra purchases too. So what I'll do is accumulate my WOW points and then purchase something that I need, and then however much that item costs, like if I need a new chair or a new desk, whatever, I can purchase that desk using my WOW points. So basically it's free, but then I'll take that $100 and put it into my savings account. And this is like free money that you don't want to miss out on. So make sure that you take advantage of any free money that you get at any given moment. Number four. Now, this may sound crazy, but I actually learned this from one of my crazy coworkers. Anybody that knows me knows who I'm talking about. Her name is Wanda, and I love her to death. But you can negotiate any of your bills, okay, your monthly bill. This especially works really well with cell phone companies, cable or internet, and insurance, home insurance especially. All you do, like literally Wanda does it all the time, and I could not believe how well it worked that I started to do it myself. You just call them up. As soon as you hear an advertisement, they'll have it and say, new customers, you get this, you get that, and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, then that leaves the old customers. We don't get anything because we're old customers. So then you call them up. You tell them that you're going to quit because you don't know why you can't get this service, why you can't get the discount, or just tell them that you've been shopping around and you found it cheaper over here. 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 times out of 10, they are going to lower your fee because they don't want to lose you as a customer. The amount of money that they would be losing every single month is not even worth the savings that they could just give you. Okay, so that's number 4. Make sure that you negotiate every single thing that you possibly can, any bills, right? Number 5, last and definitely not least, switch your bank if you have to. I learned this too from one of my mentors. Banks, they make so much money from us, right? Just from charging people that don't have a lot of money. They make money off of their overdraft fees. They make money off of their non-ATM fees. Like if you use an ATM that's not part of the network, as well as any like late fees for the credit cards that they give you and things like that. So the best way to avoid something like that. Now, we also can go back to number 4 and just tell them that you're going to switch banks and they will waive some of these costs, especially if they have any type of fees that they charge you for making too many transfers, just miscellaneous fees that they may charge you. They'll definitely waive those. If they don't, you can go to another bank. And what you want to do is find a bank that maybe has a lot of ATMs throughout your city, and also that has if they have like an overdraft protection. If you're somebody that sometimes you run into a little bit of trouble with balancing your checkbook, a lot of Americans have this problem, don't worry. And if you run into problems like that, then you can find a bank that has some type of overdraft protection, so you won't be penalized like the $35 or $40 every time you go into overdraft, or the $3 every time you use another bank. So just shop around. Online banks are really good because they don't have the big brick and mortar business where they have to charge you for, because if you think about it, banks, they charge us, they have to pay their employees, they have to pay their rent. It's a regular business, but for whatever reason, we don't think it's a regular business. So a lot of things we kind of overlook and we just pay for it. But you don't have to pay for any of these things. So that was 5 ways that you can try to boost up your emergency fund, and they really work. Feel free, if you have any questions any single time, just inbox me and I'll be sure to take care of that. And now I'm going to step out of the way and introduce our next speaker. If you're on our Facebook Live, you can also tune in, because now I'm going to end this call. The number and everything is right there somewhere on my page. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'm going to get out of here and introduce our next speaker to the call, Miss Tara Whitney. Miss Tara Whitney is she's the CEO and founder of a women in lifestyle brand called Paper Girl, where she believes that anyone with a strategy who delivers daily can have success. She's a full-time entrepreneur. Tara has a passion for personal growth and self-development, and she truly believes that knowledge is the new money. She dedicates so much time and invests so much time in different trainings and seminars, and she embraces this journey and loves educating herself and just feeling her passion so everyone can win. She's an amazing mom and the sweetest woman that always delivers. Miss Tara Whitney, are you on the line?